What's up, everyone? Welcome to the 4th episode of the Nothin but Net podcast, powered by Tints R Us. Do you need top quality, heat-blocking ceramic tints for your car, but you don't necessarily want to pay top price for them?
I know the thing that's been stopping me from buying tints over the past few years has really been the price. It just seems like an expense I really don't want to pay.
And that's the story with a lot of people, but luckily for you and for our listeners, if you make an appointment with Tints R Us and tell them that your friends at Nothin but Net sent you, they'll definitely hook it up for you. You can set an appointment at their website, www.tintsrussfl.com, or you can reach them on Instagram at tintsrussfl. I'm your co-host, Jamar.
And I'm your co-host, Michael. And on this episode, we'll be discussing the fake news swirling around the NBA regarding Dwayne Wade's free agency. We'll also talk to our special guest, Sebastian Moreno, and we'll touch upon a few other basketball topics, so let's hop right into it.
Let's get it.
So, for the past week, it has been swirling around NBA Twitter that Dwayne Wade would go and sign a one-year deal with the Miami Heat and then proceed to retire. Other NBA accounts started retweeting this and chiming in as well, and then other players started to give their opinion on the topic. So, this continues to swirl around. It's okay. Heat fans are getting excited. And then Dwayne Wade on August 15th tweets out, in all caps, fake news, putting an end to all of those rumors. And honestly, he's sort of made it worse. Not worse, but it's just like, okay, now every option's back open again.
It's now continuing a looming discussion.
I was like, okay, maybe. All right, now we have like an answer. It sucks that it'll be his last year, but right. I love him. He'll get his farewell tour, and now it's like, oh, Jesus.
You still don't know what's going to happen.
What if he goes to China?
Well, for me, on Twitter, you see all the Heat fans like, oh, finally, he's coming back. It's going to be one last year. And besides that, it was actually reported first by Tim Reynolds, I believe, who said Wade basically told him, if I come back, it's only going to be the Heat.
Yeah.
And I had Heat fans all over my timeline. Yes, he's only going to play for us. He's not playing for anyone else. And I'm just like, duh. Like, my whole thought was, you really thought he would go somewhere again this stage in his career when he's contemplating retirement, you know? But besides that, personally, I feel as though he had a picture-perfect ending to his career. When you think about it, the way he got traded back from Cleveland, the way he was able to come back home, he was able to don the South Beach, the South Beach jerseys. He was able to hit clutch shots, game winners. He was our best player in the playoffs this year. Like, it's a good way. I mean, obviously he didn't end hitting a buzzer beater in Game 7 of the NBA Finals or something like that.
I mean, getting bounced in the first round is not that great, but coming back home to play in the playoffs is the biggest thing.
It's a great ending. And whether he decides to go play in China, because I know he has a lifetime contract now with his Chinese brand.
Yeah, a lot of connections over there.
And him and Udonis both are in that brand and have great connections overseas. But it was actually confirmed by Tim Reynolds that the 16-year veteran and his representatives have been in direct contact with the Miami Heat. And there's more belief now than ever that he would be returning for another year. So whether you want to take that as a sign that maybe Wade's also returning for another year, I mean, that's up to you. Like he said earlier, it's Wade, by tweeting fake news, made it
he just
the looming discussion and conversation and uncertainty.
He honestly added like fuel to the fire just because he opened up all three options. Heat for an extended period, which I'm down for. Dwayne Wade to another NBA team, which I don't think can happen. I don't think will happen.
I don't think that'll happen at all.
Yeah, like he already went home to Chicago, and then he went and played with LeBron for half season, then came back. It was just like, and even LeBron said it, like they would catch him in the locker room, like just always paying attention to what the Heat are doing, just because when you're with the franchise for so long and like you are our greatest player and you're the cornerstone that you are, like it's sort of hard to cut that connection off. So definitely. I think if he does it, I think a farewell tour would be nice.
So let me ask you, as a Heat fan, what do you think he should do, and what do you want him to do? Actually, I know what you want. You want him to come back.
Yeah.
But what do you think he should do?
I think
if you were Wade, what would you do in this situation?
Honestly, I think he should go 1 or 2 years. I would go 1 year deal and then go to China. 1 year deal, but let it be like, yes, this is gonna be my final NBA season, but I do have things that I'm trying to set aside for after
basketball.
Yeah. So I would go to China. Again, as we stated before, I think the biggest thing is that his son is still in high school.
Right.
And so Steph Curry was on the Bill Simmons podcast, and Bill Simmons asked him, how did it change that your father was a professional basketball player? He's like, honestly, it helps once I got to the league, because I came in like an adult, and I came in knowing how to, like, act.
Right.
So, obviously, it helps, like, when you're being recruited. Again, with Steph Curry, it's a different animal. Like, he wasn't really highly recruited. Zaire most likely will be highly recruited by the big D1 schools. So, I think Dwayne wants to be there with him. Like, him and Gabby want to support him throughout the whole process, because it's really confusing, honestly. Like, coaches lie. Teams, like, you can't really throw money at the kid because his dad's Dwayne Wade, but coaches lie. It's a lot of different things. Like, do you want to go there for school purposes? Do you want to go just, like, one and done? So, we'll see. I think come to the Heat for a year and then go to China, or come to the Heat for a year and then just, like, ride out with Zaire. I think that would be the best idea.
If I'm Wade, I'm retiring. I'm enjoying retirement for a couple years. Then I'm out to China.
Yeah, I can see that. That'd be smart.
We would like to welcome Sebastian Moreno to the show. Sebastian has played basketball almost his entire life. He played during his high school years, and he even played at the collegiate level, playing basketball for Chatham University. He is now the lead assistant women's basketball coach at St. Thomas University. Sebastian, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me. Big fan of the show.
We appreciate that.
Thank you.
First, we wanted to ask you about your past. Can you tell us, like, your story, how you played during your high school years, how you got to the college level, and ultimately how you ended up being a coach?
Yes. So I took the alternative route. I actually didn't really play the full 4 years of high school. I went into the AAU route, which nowadays you're seeing that more often. So I did that. I started getting recruited by different coaches in the collegiate level, started getting more eyes on me, more or less my junior and senior year. And that's basically how I was getting recruited for college. And I got recruited by Coach Garcia from Chatham University. He was originally the assistant at Cardigan Mellon in Pennsylvania, in Pittsburgh. He accepted the head coaching job at Chatham and just started recruiting, and he actually has some family around the area of South Florida, so he was able to see me live, and he liked the way I played, and that's basically how that started. And I ended up going to Chatham for a year, and I just started really gaining more of appreciation for coaching while at Chatham, and that's basically what happened. I just turned the tables from being a coach, from being a player to becoming a coach, and that's kind of like what started me in coaching.
Okay, that's actually really interesting. The AAU thing, I think, is the coolest part, where it's just like you get exposed to a lot more talent playing against and playing with, and that does help players like actually show what you're possible of doing. Just because like if the talent you're playing isn't so good, then it's like, okay, yeah, he's playing, but it's not really against anybody. And then also if the talent surrounded by him is good, it's like, okay, well, what's he doing here? It's not really worth anything. And we really do like see that the AAU route is like the biggest thing. Like that's what LaMelo Ball was basically gonna do, that route, until his dad started like the JBA. It was like LaMelo's not gonna play high school, strictly AAU ball. And then JBA.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, talk about this a little bit early in the show with Wade sending out the fake news tweet regarding his free agency. So I know you're a Heat fan. What are your takes on this?
Well, I would love to see Dwayne Wade play for the Miami Heat. Hopefully it's for a couple years, not just one more, but I would be okay if he just played for 1 year, but it would have to be for the Miami Heat. He's a straight up legend here. He's done so much for the community, and just going back with memories, that's kind of how I started really loving basketball, was just because of him. I remember my uncle, he bought me my first Heat tickets back, I think it was 2005 or 2006. And the first player I fell in love with was Dwayne Wade. Just the way he carried himself, just the type of athlete he is on the court and off the court. That would be great for the city if he came back. And I really think that he will. And if it's just for 1 year, I'll be okay with it. But I would love to see him for at least another 2. And I mean, you already know that if he's coming back for 1 year, I'm buying that last game, whether it's in Miami or anywhere else. I'm for sure going there.
Dang, bro. So you're one of those, because I spoke earlier on the podcast, about how last week a bunch of Heat fans on my timeline were saying, "Oh, thank God, if he plays again, it's only going to be for the Heat." Were you really surprised by that? Honestly, you thought there was an honest chance that he would suit up again for another team at this stage in his career?
Honestly, I really think he wouldn't, but if money talks, money talks. We know this from the past where, Pat Riley was only offering him $5 million, which, I mean, for him it was pretty cheap. And then you see other teams like the Chicago Bulls that offered him, more than $15 million. I believe it was around the $20 million neighborhood. But if some team were to offer him a good amount of money, I think he might have taken it. But this late in his career, I think the best bet is him just staying in Miami and just riding it out.
Okay, money talks. I'll give you that point.
That's true.
So, how many years have you been the lead assistant coach for women basketball at St. Thomas?
So this will be, I believe it's going to be my 4th year on the team and 3rd full season. The reason why I say that is because when I came on as an assistant coach, I actually came on under Coach Grimsley, and I came in during the year, pretty much during conference play, which is it's a very crazy year. If you follow college sports, very, very crazy year, and it was hard to soak in everything since I transitioned from a player to a coach at a very young age, because I transitioned at 18, which is almost unheard of. But that transition was difficult, and at the same time, going into conference play where the games matter and you have games almost back to back. Like I said, it was a little bit difficult, but I think that was great for my learning, because it shows that if I can do this at a consistent level, then everything else should be a little smoother.
Got you.
Yeah. So, since you've been doing this for about 4 years, what in that span has been your favorite memory from the coaching side?
I think I have a couple great memories. The ones that I can name on top of my head was my first win under being in a coaching staff against Johnson and Wales. I actually still have that scorecard, and it's just crazy where you're from a player perspective, and then you come in as a coach, and all the work that you put in, those early morning practices, those workouts and all that, it really pays off. And I think that might have been one of my very, very famous or favorite memories. And the other one would have to be actually from last season. Our women's team made it to the national tournament for NAIA, and that was just a great moment because the team hasn't appeared in one in, I believe, 5 years. It's been a while, and we had a new coach, Coach Walker, that came in, and they had us not winning much games because new system, new coach, and all the adversity. So I think last season in general was very memorable, but also to top it off, I think going to the national tournament was big for me, and it was great experiences with the coaching staff and with the girls. It was just a great experience. So that would have to be my top two. I don't know if I can pick one, but those are 1A and 1B.
Yeah, I remember both those. I remember you texting our group chat and calling us like, yeah, we're waiting tonight. We're hoping to hear if we're gonna get in for the NAIA, and then seeing the Snapchats of like you and all the girls celebrating. And I also remember seeing a picture of that first scorecard, like seeing the progression from game one to going into that tournament. It was just like, oh wow, that's like I just felt amazing for you, just because I know making the transition from playing to coaching is really hard. So seeing that it was working out and seeing that all the work you put in was being paid off, it made me feel great for you.
Yeah, those are definitely awesome memories that you can keep forever, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we appreciate you joining the show. We appreciate you being a fan and always supporting the show. I know you're always texting me, different feedbacks you have and how you enjoy the shows and stuff like that. So we wish you nothing but the best. We wish you success for the upcoming season, and we'll definitely be telling our listeners to go check out the women's basketball team at St. Thomas this year.
Yep. Thank you guys for having me. I've always been a fan. I've tuned in every new episode, and just a quick shout out for the St. Thomas University, both men and women's team. Hope you guys check them out this season, because we're going to be turning some heads.
Yeah, thank you again. Yeah, we definitely got to go out there. We're recording here from St. Thomas, so yeah, we'll definitely pop in for some men's games, definitely some women's games. So you might be hearing some Ghost Sebastians from the sidelines.
We gotta get people there for Seabass and for Ty. We had Ty on the show a couple weeks back.
Yeah, for sure. He's going to be a great talent. I've been seeing him put in work in the gym, so I just know that this year, like I said, he's going to be turning some heads for sure. So definitely check him out, and then, like I said, just check us out. We should be turning some heads as well.
All right, appreciate it, Seabass. Thank you, bro.
Thank you for the interview,
Thanks again, guys. Thanks again.
All right, see ya.
First of all, we wanted to thank the fans for all the support you guys show on our questions, all the feedback that we get. It helps us to think in different ways that we might not have thought in. And honestly, it just helps us to grow out the show. So thank you as always.
Yeah, we really do love all the feedback on social media and the texts and calls we get. Just like, hey, if you guys want to try this, you guys should do this different. It's just, we really do appreciate it all.
Definitely. This week's question to the fans is a little different. Every summer we see all these highlight videos with all these crazy pickups going on at gyms and outdoor courts across the country. This week's question to the fans, you have to make your most exciting pickup team, but there's guidelines. You have to have one player currently in high school, one player currently in college, two players currently in the NBA, and one star of any sort. So, go ahead, Mikey. What's your 5?
Okay, so I'm going to start in the reverse order. The one person I'm going to take that's not associated with basketball in those senses will be Mr. Honcho. I'm going to take Quavo.
We saw him playing with Drake recently.
Yeah. He got a strap.
Did he win? He won $10,000, didn't he?
Yeah.
He won $10,000.
Lucky lefty, baby.
In a pickup game with Drake.
He got a jumper.
All right, so you got Quavo.
And then I'm going to take the man that went off at Rucker for 66. I'll take KD.
Okay.
And then I'm going to take, honestly, the player in the NBA that's, like, built for this, Jamal Crawford.
Love Jamal.
Yeah, he's like, and I want to just see him be able to carry the basketball and not get that called. Like, his handle's already wild. I want to see what he can give a little extra on the hezzy.
Uh-huh.
And then for my college player, I'm going to go Bull. Just because, like, why not get a 7-footer?
We need a big.
Yeah, he's gifted, too. And then for my high school, I'm going to take Jalen McHugh. That kid's nice.
Okay.
That kid's nice.
Okay.
What's your 5?
My 5. My high school player, my favorite high school player right now, Cole Anthony, definitely.
Your baller.
I saw a video of him maybe like 2, I don't think 3, probably between 2 and 3 years ago, and since then, Like, I've just watched him grow as a player, and that's been awesome.
Kids from New York, right?
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
nice.
just like my boy Jalen.
He's nice. So
Shout
I'll take
out.
Cole Anthony. My college player would be Zion Williamson.
He's
Of
a
course.
freak, dude. He's
Of
a
course.
tank.
I'll take him. My 2 NBA players, I'll take Braun, because I got to.
What you guys see?
And Kyrie. You gotta take Kyrie in the pickup game.
Because he gets to untuck his jersey.
Yeah, and you
handles
got. I mean,
all
you
out.
got Jamal, so I gotta match the handles. And for my non-basketball affiliated, I'll take J. Cole simply because I know he used to be a baller. Haven't seen him ball a lot. That's my favorite artist ever. So might as well see him ball more.
Yeah, and he's someone you know that could play. I was thinking about taking Chris Brown.
Yeah.
And then for my high school, I was teetering between two, but I stuck with Jalen. I was thinking going LaMelo.
Yeah,
but
I thought you would. I thought you would go the Ball family. But we're definitely looking forward to seeing who you guys choose in your 5. Be sure to DM us on Instagram, message us on Facebook, call the podcast number, and let us know who your 5 is.
Yeah, I honestly, this is the one I'm the most excited for, just because it allows the most creativity, and like, it's a talk that a lot of people have, like, oh yeah, my 5 in the NBA would be this, my all-time 5 would be this, but
And they get to play it too on
yeah.
2K. They play Blacktop and make all teams.
Yeah, so we want to craft it in our own way. Hopefully you guys like the question, so yeah, definitely send them in.
Let's see your 5.
Let's try to beat my team. I dare y'all try to beat my team. With the NBA season beginning soon, we began to look at the draft class again. Honestly, I think it's one of the most intriguing draft classes ever, just because you have the foreign players, you had a bunch of bigs that we haven't seen in a while, and we started to, I guess, digest what we expect from all their games, just because you see them like working out, you see them playing 5-on-5, and it's just like, okay, let's see who's actually going to translate to the league, which one of these players' potential is actually going to make them worth their pick, and which kids is their potential just strictly potential and not going to turn into anything. So with that being said, Jamar, from the East, what rookies really intrigue you?
I think the most interesting story from a rookie coming into the East this year has to be Trae Young. You look at his game, he was insanely flashy in college, right?
Yeah.
Led the league, led the country in scoring, led the country in assists. If you look at his season, the first half and the second, not half, but the last 11 games are extremely different than the first.
Drastic differences.
As teams started to really learn his game and to
Yeah.
begin to game plan for him. So that's definitely going to be an issue where he has in the NBA, where you're literally getting paid to study players, learn their game, know what they're comfortable with, and try to alter that. So, and not if you look at the summer league, he was very inconsistent.
Yeah, it was
he
either
had
hot
games
or
where,
not.
Exactly. He had games where he went, didn't he go 0 for 11 from 3 one game? Or
it was 0 for, it might have been 0-11 from the field, 0 for 7 from 3, but yeah, it was
something
like
that.
bad
So
misses too.
you have games where he's going 0 for, and then you have games where
Just
he's
popping off.
Yeah, shooting the lights out. So it's definitely the most intriguing storyline to me, in my opinion, to see how Trae Young appears in the league. What about you from the East?
I'm a big University of Texas fan, and I really want to see what Mo Bamba does in Orlando. I think that team's really weird, the way they're built.
Right, it's like
they're all bigs that all sort of do the same thing, but I think him and Jonathan Isaac, if they, again, can reach the potential that Orlando saw, that's scary. Because they can,
could be a nice matchup.
because they can, like, Mo Bamba is the better defender, Jonathan Isaac is the better offensive player, but neither is a slouch in either department. Like, Bamba's huge. So wingspan, he's super
and they're both
athletic.
long. I was about to say they're both insanely long.
It's a little bit like what the Bucks were trying to build, or still are, how all their players are like 6'6" and up.
Yeah.
They all play D, they're all switch.
Wingspan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think Bamba is going to be really cool. And I also really do like his personality, as we saw like him and Ayton dancing and Call Me Maybe. And like Bamba just seems like a really cool kid. So I really want to see him, and he's he's up the state. Hopefully I get to see him a good amount. Hopefully he doesn't do too much against the Heat. Yeah. He seems
What do you
really
think?
cool.
What do you think about a rookie going into the West?
A rookie for the West. This one honestly comes down to Marvin Bagley and Luka Doncic. No matter what, those two are always going to be intertwined, because did Sacramento finally get it right with a pick other than DeMarcus Cousins?
Yep.
Or did they do the Jimmer Fredette?
Yep.
So.
And then it's interesting for Dallas as well, like, you know, taking an international guard very high. We've seen that been not so successful throughout the past couple of years, so that's going to be interesting to see how that goes for them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not too big of a foreign guards guy. I like the bigs more, just because, like, they're just so skilled. And don't get me wrong, the guards are too. But right now in the NBA, these guards are freaks.
And the craziest part is, like, he's the most accomplished player maybe to ever be going into the NBA.
Yeah, 19 years old.
You know?
He was the MVP of the highest Spain league. And he's still getting the hate. And I'm not going to lie.
Simply because in the past,
yeah.
teams have gambled on international guards and it
Mario
hasn't paid out.
Hasenga in Orlando.
Yeah.
I thought that was a pick that they needed, like, just for what he was supposed to be able to do. He couldn't do any of it.
So we'll have to see how his game, and we're wishing him the best.
Hopefully, I want to see him ball.
Hopefully it does
and Dennis
translate.
Smith Jr.?
That would be really
That'd be a nice backcourt.
For me, in the Western Conference, I think the most intriguing story has to be Porter. It has to be Michael Porter Jr.
Because he was the story of draft night, too.
If he did not obtain that injury, he was easily the number one pick. And we're talking about him being a transcending talent.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he did
the back injury happened,
go through the injury, and back injuries, kind of never go away.
Yeah.
They always tend to be re-aggravated, and then there's more time to heal and so on. But if he can be fully healthy and he can play as the player that he was projected to be, we have a serious team in Denver.
Yeah. Because, again, if he was healthy, it would have been him and Devin Booker.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Yeah.
Him and Jokic, I like that. If they're healthy, I like
Denver
him.
has a nice team.
And Jamal Murray's my boy.
If he can show to be the player that he was supposed to be,
yeah,
that's a really nice team, and he's going to be a very productive player.
Yeah, the back injuries are scary, from even dating back to Larry Bird laying down, not sitting on the bench.
Yeah.
We saw with Mike Miller here, and you see a few players, but thankfully, as technology has advanced, so is science and so is medicine.
Exactly.
So hopefully it's something that, it was college basketball. No matter what, he was good. So hopefully it's one of those situations.
Something he can fully recover from, and hopefully
ball.
He'll be an awesome story this year.
Yeah.
This episode's question from the fans comes to us from Carlos Ebar de los Santos. First of all, Carlos, thank you for watching the show and being a dedicated fan and giving us the feedback that we always look forward to hearing. He asked us, and I'm going to pose a question to you first.
Okay.
He asked, going forward for the next 5 seasons, would you rather have Giannis Antetokounmpo or Joel Embiid?
Ooh, I like that question.
That's tough, right?
Yeah, I like that question
Very
a lot.
tough.
They're definitely 2 players. Those are 2 players, I think, besides Kawhi Leonard, that are going to be the 2 best players in the East this year. I want to see which one.
Which player do you think is better right now first?
Giannis.
Yeah, okay, I agree. So, but now to answer his question, for the next 5 seasons.
Honestly, because of the injuries, I'm going to take Giannis. It's just Embiid's injuries do scare me. And with Giannis, he's everything you want. If he had a jumper, it's over. We've said this before on the podcast. We've said this before in discussions. He gets a jumper, it's over.
He's a better KD.
Yeah. And, he's still so young. And my favorite thing about him, well, both of them, is they haven't been playing basketball long. So they're still, learning the game.
Right.
So it's still, they're still picking up on the mental aspects of it, and I love it. They're still learning, and they're both so good. But I'm gonna go with Giannis.
Giannis.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me preface my answer by saying, personally, I believe the league goes through stages, right? So I believe it goes through a period where bigs are the best in the league. And then it becomes a point where all the bigs are so good, so the real difference maker becomes guards. Mm-hmm. So then the league goes through a stage of where guards are the best. And I think that's where the NBA is right now.
Yeah.
So before I answer, I want to say that I feel as though the league is going to transition back
to bigs
into a state where bigs will be the dominant players. And that is why I'll take Joel. I'm also going based off assuming both players will be healthy, fully healthy for the next 5 seasons.
Yeah.
Nobody can predict injuries, so assuming both players will be fully healthy for the next 5 seasons, I'm taking Embiid because, again, I feel like the league is going to transition back into a league of bigs.
Yeah.
And besides DeMarcus Cousins, I can't name a better center in the league. And Joel Embiid is already so good defensively. His offensive game is so full in that he has such great touch.
Yeah.
Both around the rim and on his shot. He can put you down low. He can also fade around.
Gets a bucket wherever.
I mean, a lot of that is due to the fact that he's working with Drew Hanlon.
Shout out Drew.
But, I mean, his game is just... There's so much room for growth, but he's already so
good.
Yeah.
Holy
so,
cow.
I would personally take Embiid. He would take Giannis. Thank you again, Carlos. That's an awesome question. And, hey, if you guys want, let us know what you guys think about that one, too.
Yeah.
That concludes this episode of the Nothing But Net podcast, the first ever episode that's on YouTube.
Hey.
We'd like to thank you all for the support and feedback. We tell you all the time that your feedback is what makes us grow and get better as a show. And that's one of the reasons why we're starting this YouTube channel, because we did a poll on Instagram that over 75 people voted on, and they told us that we should make a YouTube channel, so we're going to go ahead and please the people. So thank you for all the love and support that you guys continue to show.
Yes, thank you all again. We really think this YouTube thing is going to be really cool. It's because we'll have segments like this, and then we'll have like separate things that won't ever see the podcast that are strictly YouTube. And we just want to continue to grow with you guys. So again, thank you all for showing us love, not only on social media and on the polls, but again, like the thing I appreciate the most is the calls and the texts. Like, hey,
right.
Yeah, like when I ask for feedback and people actually give feedback, like it's great when they're just like, yeah, no, I really like the show. Just try to change this, try to change that, or continue to do this. And we share with each other. Sometimes I get something that so there's times where people text me something for him, and vice versa. And it's like, all right, it's great to get that feedback and just continue to grow like that. So again, thank you all.
Right. Thanks again to Sebastian Moreno for being our guest interview on the show.
Shout out Seabass.
Shout out to Tint R Us. Make sure you guys go check them out, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Peace.